Murray Toborowsky, my grandfather, was born 1940 at Perth Amboy General Hospital in New Jersey to parents David Toborowsky and Helen Julia Scher. They gave him the nickname Butchie. He was close with his mother, who would always tell Murray to be the better one. His father founded the Toborowsky Detective Agency, a private investigation organization. He was the second of 4 children, Sonny, Larry, and Barry. As a teenager, he played for the Perth Amboy basketball team. He loved to try new things. That's who he was, a quiet and reserved person, but full of spirit, and determined to make something of himself. In 1960, he studied at the University of Kentucky and would graduate with a degree in education. He was the first person in his family to go to college. At a party during his freshman year, Murray and a friend saw a young lady standing in the doorway, and he introduced himself. He would propose to that lady, my grandmother Linda, just 4 months later in December 1960. They would marry in September of the next year. His first job out of college as a history teacher brought him back to Perth Amboy High, and other faculty would often ask him for his hall pass, mistaking him for a student. Linda and Murray had 3 children, Lee, Nancy, and David. He loved his children. After his second job selling insurance and mutual funds, he would come home and play ball in the yard while Linda filmed. They moved around a bit from Edison to Kentucky and back to Edison, New Jersey, but that was always part of the adventure. 1982 was a turning point in his life. After a heart attack, he ate healthier and cherished life's moments. For the minutes that he lay dead on the hospital table, nurses were stunned to hear his heartbeat again. Murray was given the middle name Nissim, meaning miracle in Hebrew. Though after the divorce, 5 years later, he never hated or wished ill will because it wasn't in his nature. Fate would bring him back to Kentucky in May of 1988, where he was introduced to his future wife Bonnie by her cousin, both active members of the Jewish community. He would later tell me in private it was love at first sight. They were married in February 2001. Murray always saw Bonnie's children, Kim, her twin brother Kevin, and Bob, as his own. Even as they grew older, they never lost touch. Anytime he would visit Kentucky, Florida, or Pennsylvania, he always brought new wisdom.
Not a whole lot of civilization.
He loved each of his grandchildren and lived to be a great-grandfather, and he truly was great. Family reunions in New Jersey brought joy unlike any love can describe. His brother Larry's sudden death in 2000 was a great loss for Murray. Even though he never publicly expressed his emotions, he still loved to love. Murray's love for history never left him either, and he continued giving talks at universities and synagogues across the country about the Civil War and the importance of Judaism in the United States. One of his favorite pastimes was laying in the sun at their home in Florida, reading about American history and studying for his lectures at different synagogues. He would continue to travel with Bonnie to the Netherlands, Alaska, Israel, and the list goes on. For decades, he was an icon at the Lincoln dealership in Louisville, offering to deliver cars, traveling for hours to see the open road.
I was on the phone talking to a friend that also does dealer trades. I'm on a dealer trade, had to go up just a little past Columbus, Ohio.
Several years ago, my grandfather and I went to Churchill Downs. He was excited winning a bet on a horse race. I recorded that moment here. On Thanksgiving, just 6 days before he passed, we organized an online meeting so everyone could be together. He always loved smiling, as he did in this picture, and this is the last one I have of him. He always wished for more time to love, to teach, and understand the world. Murray never really knew what would happen to a person once they die, but he always thought when it was his time, he would hug his brother Larry, his parents and cousins again. Murray was just 80 years old.